The new Panamera GTS sees Porsche close the gap between the Panamera 4S and the Panamera Turbo, and in a particularly sporty style that is typical of the GTS. In terms of performance on the one hand, and in terms of look and equipment line on the other, my colleagues from Weissach will give you all the details about the new GTS in a moment. But before that, let's do a quick lap here on the racetrack.
Nochmal eine schnelle Runde.
Lars Kern, record-breaking driver, racing driver, test driver. Feels right at home, even in large sports cars. Panamera and performance. What do you generally associate with that? Regardless of the engine type, the car's development is very strongly geared towards sportiness. At every turn, you can tell it's a Porsche. Even though the car is very luxurious, and you know getting around in it day to day is a very relaxing experience, mine offers massive scope in terms of performance, and that's what specifically characterizes a Panamera to my mind. What about the engine? The sound rocks. The car's throttle response is excellent when you're accelerating out of a turn. You almost forget that this is a V8 bi-turbo. The feel is more like a normally aspirated engine. Power is immediately available, even at higher revs. The car simply has enough torque, and this is exactly what you look for in a GTS. When it comes to sportiness, it really hits the spot, and fortunately, there was no cylinder downgrade. Yes, it's true. The new Panamera GTS again has a V8 engine, but this time it's the new 4-liter V8 bi-turbo. We are on a racetrack, so the keyword is lateral dynamics. How does the Panamera stand out in that respect? The Panamera stands for lateral dynamics in the luxury segment. No other car in this segment comes close when it comes to lateral dynamics. The car was developed with this idea in mind right from the outset. It's a Porsche, and it's supposed to feel like a Porsche. When fine-tuning the chassis in the Panamera GTS, the goal was greater agility for better performance and a more enjoyable drive on normal roads, but also to ensure better performance on the racetrack. The suspension the Panamera's chassis offers has clearly been extended with a view to sportiness. This has also significantly improved the vehicle's lateral dynamics. It steers like a Porsche, a goal from the start. Of course, the car can do total luxury too. You can drive 700 miles down the motorway effortlessly. And then you arrive at a racetrack like the one here, the Lausitzring. Set the car or the suspension to hard and think to yourself, this is unbelievable. The standard 3-chamber air spring has been lowered by 10 millimeters in the GTS and is paired with an even firmer shock absorber setup. You notice it, you are simply even closer to the road. All in all, this ensures a sportier vehicle response. The final touch in the GTS package is a powerful 390mm braking system on the front axle and a 365mm system on the rear axle. If we start at the front of the vehicle, the front end from the Sport Design package is immediately apparent. With its large air intakes, painted in black, there are also some very distinctive GTS-specific features in the side view. The contrasting black accents, such as the 20-inch Panamera design wheels, the window trim strips, and the 3-dimensional side skirts from the Sport Design package. The engine delivers 460 horsepower and 620 Newton-meters of torque between 1,800 and 4,500 RPMs. Thanks to bi-turbocharging, the Panamera GTS accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.1 seconds and gives you a top speed of 292 kilometers per hour. The V8 engine with 90-degree bank angle provides the ideal conditions for positioning the turbocharger deep inside the vehicle, in the inner V. The dynamic performance of the GTS can be further improved. Optional systems such as the PDCC Sport Active Anti-Roll System and rear axle steering further optimize the vehicle dynamics. The car gives you even more feedback. That's exactly what you need as a driver. The wheels never leave the ground. The car is always perfectly balanced. It doesn't pitch and it doesn't roll. Even when you brake from high speeds, the balance is always neutral. This often has to do with the fact that we have rear axle steering, which means that you can turn the car relatively quickly and relatively well, which is really uncommon for such a big car with such a long wheelbase. PASM, Porsche Active Suspension Management, was adapted for the GTS. The shock absorber forces are increased on demand to match the situation, and in combination with GTS-specific stabilizer tuning, the performance has been improved with sportier road holding. For me, the Panamera GTS is the perfect Panamera. The car is extremely comfortable on the racetrack. The chassis is perfectly tuned. You almost forget that this is actually a luxury saloon for up to 5 people.
5 Personen? Yes, that's right.
Mark Webber, model, presenter, brand ambassador, and no stranger to motorsports.
When do I get my turn in this?
That's my right.
Yeah, okay, Mark, if you want. But I think you're more the family guy, aren't you?
Need a bit more room sometimes.
So I think you should take the green one.
Deal.
The Panamera GTS is now available as a Sport Turismo for the first time. This variant is even more suitable for everyday use. We have added a large boot lid, more expansive storage space, and 4+1 seating configuration as standard.
Here we are, just as I thought. The sexy GTS Sports Turismo family rocket. I love it. Everyday rocket, actually. Work our way to the back. It's got this beautiful fly line, very different to the sedan. Darker shade of light here, looks much sexier.
The darkened three-dimensional rear lights, typical for the GTS models, are also included here, as is the darkened light panel. Connoisseurs will notice the standard sports exhaust system, recognizable from the sports tailpipe, painted a glossy black. One of my personal highlights is the 2D Plus spoiler. 2D Plus means that the spoiler doesn't just extend upwards, but sideways too, thereby increasing the effective aerodynamic area for even more downforce on the rear axle.
So in general, very, very aggressive as a standard weapon. Oh. You are inside.
The interior also features elements that are typical for the GTS. For example, the leather Alcantara equipment line with numerous touches of Alcantara.
That is GTS, but on top of that you have sensational materials, absolutely world-class, and top-end finishes everywhere throughout the cars.
Every Panamera GTS is equipped with the Alcantara Sport steering wheel as standard, and the roof lining comes in Alcantara as well. All the comfort and driver assistance systems already familiar from the Panamera are also available for the new Panamera GTS. In terms of driver assistance systems, we offer, for example, the Park Assist, including Surround View, Lane Change Assist, and Lane Keeping Assist, an optional cruise control system with or without Porsche InnoDrive, and a Night Vision Assist.
What's the first thing that hits me straight away? Heads-up display. First time in a Panamera.
The head-up display ensures that the full range of driving-relevant information is displayed in the driver's field of vision.
It's incredible to have an opportunity to individualize every type of system that you want to have in front, go into settings, get into the PCM here, select your layout, and then you can actually have how you want to lay it up, gearing, the rev counter, of course speed, navi, everything that you want. So there's a lot of nice individualization you can do there, and that's a super cool addition to this great car. Well, I finally get to get my hands on the new baby, and Listen to that engine. That's what it's all about. 460 horsepower, V8, twin turbo.
The engine is characterized not only by outstanding performance, but also by high efficiency. The adaptive cylinder control system, which enables the vehicle to operate in 4-cylinder mode and thus save fuel, also contributes to this.
Most racetracks, when you're in a big car like this, make the car feel very slow, but not the case with this big girl. I could do lap after lap after lap. It is impressive. I mean, the Sports Turismo, it's a big car. Got a lot of volume and luggage space, and is it borderline a station wagon? I mean,
Did you say station wagon?
I said borderline, not clearly station wagon.
I told you, we do not say that.
Understood. Understood.
Sorry. Please come back, we're done here.
Okay.
The Panamera covers a broad spectrum from sports car to luxury saloon. The new GTS models are more focused on sportiness, both in terms of appearance and vehicle dynamics.
So with the new Panamera GTS, Porsche has put together a real performance package.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about you guys, but today I have another problem with the company car selection, trying to pick the right one because it's just like an absolute family rocket ship. So looking forward to that choice. Lars?
For me, it's the perfect Panamera. More emotions, better handling, even better handling. So yeah, the car is just mega.
I think we should take these babies for a run in the sun, huh?
Are we allowed to go?
We're done. Thank you very much.
Perfect, thank you.